for guys to say draft? Is that some sort of special effect there?
I'm colorblind, so I'm probably not the best person to ask these questions, but...
Or you're the best person to ask these questions. You know, I'll take an entertaining answer.
Yeah, I'm like,
I was wondering why you didn't seem to know what the hell I was talking about.
memory and things, but it's weird. Like, Magic cards, I can somehow, like... Magic is a weird thing in that way. Like, I can remember, I've terrible facial recognition.
Yeah.
I oftentimes, like, will try
Brian,
to remember what... Nice to meet you, Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sometimes, like, when I try to think about, like, what one of my brothers looks like, who I, you know, like, shared a room with for, like, 18 years. I can't remember their face in my head. But somehow, it probably, like, all but 30 Magic cards of all time I can see, and within a split second tell you exactly what it is and what it does. But...
I wrote hieroglyphics. Right? It's just like you've learned another language.
Exactly.
You've learned the hieroglyphics of Magic. See Owen Turtenwald shuffling up on the right. Craig WESCOE jacketed up on the left.
This jacket, you know, fancy in the Grand Prix.
Owen Turtenwald just had an amazing run last year at the Grand Prix level. I mean, had a fine run at the Pro Tour level too, but really made his bones at the Grand Prix level last year.
And I mean, that was something that was really impressive to me. Is, you know, last year going into Worlds, Owen,
keep it on the table, WESCOE.
I mean, Owen being the first player ever to win Player of the Year without a Pro Tour top 8.
Right.
That's hard to do, especially in today's era.
Welcome to round 7.
And so we talked earlier about Jerry maybe being the best player without a Pro Tour top 8. But Owen is certainly very much in that discussion. Maybe surpassed Jerry in that category by virtue of his Player of the Year trophy.
Yeah. I remember the first time I ever noticed Owen anywhere was Grand Prix Columbus years back. He played Goblins in a format of Flash Hulk and was brazenly telling everybody that Flash Hulk was not overpowered and that everything was fine. But he was playing Goblins, and on the finals he just like got turned 2 twice or something.
Yeah.
Booster draft number 12.
Well, there's also that great story about him playing against Saden in the early rounds of the Swiss. So that was Steve Saden's comeback event. You might remember. He hadn't played Magic. He started going to college. Sort of took a step away from playing competitive Magic. So like take school pretty seriously and get into that freshman year of college. We were all friends with Billy Moreno. Columbus is coming up. He knows about this deck, and it's like I'm just gonna go play Grand Prix Columbus. Billy's got me this awesome counter flash deck, and Owen kicks things off with a Curdy.
Woof.
He's still playing that deck. and so Steve starts going off with Flash Hulk, and his first couple opponents he's just like, okay, flash in a Protean Hulk. And the opponent's like, okay, I concede. Yeah. And so he goes against Owen, and Owen knows Steve from the sort of like, play Magic, and he knows Steve hasn't been playing a lot, and Steve's like, all right, flash in Protean Hulk, and kind of waits. And Owen's like, I'd kind of like to see you kill me.
Steve couldn't do it.
He couldn't do it.
He didn't know how. So after that round, Billy gave Steve a little tutorial on how to...
And then in the finals, Steve gave Owen a tutorial on how to... And he smashed him.
Oh, yeah.
Serum Visions.
So it looks like Craig is likely on some type of storming operation, but I see many Ice-Crown Scepters and Lightning Helixes in his hand, so maybe not. Meanwhile, there's a 2-3 Tarmogoyf and a 2-3 Curdape on the other side of the table. Craig. Plays an Ice-Crown Scepter, and ooh, it's a Lightning Helix on it. Now Owen's gonna need to get a Wild Nicodle or something of the like. Otherwise, that Scepter is going to cause some real issues. Owen attacking Craig down to 11 here.
Yeah, Ice-Crown Scepter is a card that's been just picking up in popularity in this format. So there's another 2/3. And a Thalia.
Ooh, and Thalia actually makes that Scepter cost more. So you have to pay the extra one every time you... Thalia is a really powerful spell. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing that card more in just every format.
And this is actual turn 3 of the game, right? You've got a substantial amount of power.
Yeah, 8 points of power. That's a lot.
Yeah. 8 points in looming. I mean, even like, and again, and you see how amazing Thalia is. Something like Fire Spout doesn't even help you this turn.
Yeah.
You know, you have to take 8.
Yeah, and if you take 8, you're probably just going to die to like a Tribal Flames or something. Like, who knows?
Yeah.
I'm assuming Owen's going to be Tribal Flamesing if he's got this many colors.
I mean, he's gonna have some sort of burn, right? I mean, he could have just Lightning Helixes. He could have Tribal Flames. Okay. A 3rd mana for. There's a Step Links. He's just playing like a Scepter Zoo deck.
That's what it looks like. Alright. He's cracking that land.
That's it.
And I think he may have...
He just doesn't realize what's going on here? Or?
I think he just doesn't get it. Yeah, I don't think he understands how the Thalia works.
I mean, maybe we don't understand how Thalia works.
Yeah.
Oh, Owen's like, hey, by the way, Thalia has some rules text.
Yeah.
So you attempt to play it.
Players who signed up for Twisted Draft number 3. Your event is ready. Please come up to the event stage so we can begin your event.
No,
Twisted
it did
Draft
work.
number 3 is ready.
We just don't know how it works.
I guess
Still
so.
Spots remaining in the mini master.
I thought you still had to pay an extra one. But
I also thought you still had to pay extra one.
And
Like with Trinisphere, you still have to...
yeah.
Are they sure
Rashad,
that's
you
how
were
it
a
works?
judge. If Thalia's in play, do you have to pay an extra mana to cast your Ice-Crown Scepter spell?
I believe so.
Yes. I believe so also. If a Glow Rider's in play, you have to pay an extra mana for your Ice-Crown Scepter spell, right?
Just didn't happen.
Okay, that just didn't happen, so maybe we should get a judge involved?
Thalia's in play, and
Yeah, so... Alright, well, we're getting a judge to look into this now. Because I'm pretty sure he would have to pay extra for that.
I mean,
But if not, I mean...
I'm pretty sure it's a very, very strong statement.
Okay, that's fair.
yeah, because I mean the 2 that you pay for Ice-Crown Scepter is just activating the scepter,
Right.
And then during the resolution it says you can play this spell,
Right.
and Thalia says, "Whoa, you want to play a spell?
Right.
Is it a creature spell? No, it isn't. You need to pay one more, so you have to pay the extra still."
Okay, so there's a judge who's heading over there to inform
Yes,
them of how that works?
Yes.
Because it was kind of a big deal.
That is kind of a huge deal. And, I mean, the only reason I said I was pretty sure is because I've had the same situation come up with Glow Rider and Ice-Crown
Sure.
Scepter before. And Sheldon ruled on it for me.
Sure.
So that's pretty sure.
Yeah. So it's 2 Loam Lions, a Thalia, and a Kurde. Staring down Delver, Step Links, and Scepter. I mean, the Scepter comes online and it's just so huge in this matchup.
Oh yeah, Scepter with the Helix on it is just completely backbreaking.
I don't know if that sort of fist banging on the table there was Owen realizing I think they might be Yeah, they're talking about the play, it looks like, with the judge right now.
Winner box number 5, please come up to the stage. Also, can I have a side event judge come to the stage? That's winner box number 5.
And I think
Everyone's like, oh, this game could be a little different with a TURTENWALD.flv play.
yeah, this game would be a lot different with the TURTENWALD play.
Well,
The TURTENWALD also would have attacked
and
last
also,
turn,
and WESCOE would be at 4 and not 7.
Yeah, and Owen has the treble flames in his hand. We saw when he revealed his hand. So Craig would pretty much just be dead right now.
Because there's a mountain, a forest, an island, and a plains in play. So the treble flames would be good. Yeah. We know. We were just informed that there's an appeal going on in this game over Thalia, and we're like, yeah, we're aware.
Yeah. And I wish there was some way that we had like a bell that we could ring to tell them to stop immediately when that type of thing happens.
Yeah, this is always such a weird situation. So you're playing at your local store, and someone, even you're playing Friday night, and someone says, "Oh, you just scoop your cards up, right?" And you're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. I didn't realize I lose."
Yeah.
With this level, that's not how things work.
Yeah.
You know.
Was there a judge involved in the initial thing that happened?
No, I don't think that. I don't know. I mean, I saw Owen point to.
Yeah, I saw Owen
I think
point at
Owen
Thalia.
pointed to Thalia, but maybe he meant, "Oh, you're going to kill Thalia." I thought he was pointing to Thalia and go, "Oh, hey, one extra."
That's also what I thought.
But then he's like, "No, I'm going to kill your Tarmogoyf." So I don't think there was any judge involved at all. Sort of explaining what we heard Rashad explain to us.
Yep. Yeah, I feel like they're being very animated with their hands. This is good. We can kind of like understand what they're saying.
So Owen's like, I would still have a Tarmogoyf in play.
Yes.
And he would be at 4.
Tarmogoyf in play, him at 4.
I'm getting a nod from Ray. Yeah. He's like, yeah, that's exactly what Owen just said. And, is Craig just scooping them up? Is he?
I think that's kind of the right thing to do in this spot. You're dead. If Owen shows me the tribal flames, I scoop him up in this spot. But if Owen doesn't show me the tribal flames, I don't think I do. Oh yeah, Owen did show him the tribal flames, and then he scooped him immediately.
Okay.
All right, so we'll be going on to game 2 now. Yeah, Owen flips the tribal flames.
Attention
Makes it obvious
we're
that,
looking
you know.
for Pamela Rose. Your win box event is ready to begin. Please make your way to the event stage. Pamela Rose.
A little bit of a sneer from Owen there.
So after
Probably mad at himself for not seeing it.
Well, after Owen pointed at the Thalia, Craig did point at the Icecrown Scepter. So maybe Craig was like, no, that's not how it works. So maybe Owen is pissed off and was like, hey, I told you had to pay the extra 1, and then you told me it didn't work that way.
I mean,
in
that case, Owen, I mean, that's on Owen, because anytime you...
Yeah, you call
I told him, listen, if you're ever playing, and it doesn't matter if you're playing Friday Night Magic, it doesn't matter if you're playing at the Pro Tour, if you have a dispute over how a card works, if you have any question about what your opponent's saying to you, your opponent is not there to give you... Yes, I understand that they're obligated to by the rules, right? But like, they can just be wrong.
Yeah.
You see
Craig
reading the Icecrown Scepter now. Yeah. Sort of bolstering his case that he just...
Yeah. You call a judge, and if the judge disagrees with what you thought it did, you appeal. And if the head judge says you're wrong, you're probably wrong. There are rare situations where you're not, but you're probably wrong.
And even if the head judge is wrong, you're wrong.
In that case, then you're wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. So we saw Craig flipping through his deck. You see all this kind of cool stuff that he can put on his Isochron Scepter, including Vapor Snake, which just seems brutal in some matchups.
I heard a lot of people saying that they were playing Vapor Snag over Path Exile in their like fish style decks this weekend.
Sure.
Because the fish style decks are all playing like Mana Leak and Spell Pierce post board and stuff, and you're playing Path Exile with Mana Leak and Spell Pierce, and it's kind of a disaster.
Just think about Remand, right? As far as counter, right? Remand doesn't actually counter anything per se. You know, it returns the spell to its owner's hand.
Yeah, but Remand's not for the pure control deck.
What I'm saying
That's
is,
what you're saying,
what I'm
yeah.
saying is, you see the tempo of a card like Remand, like put it back in your hand, like Path to Exile, giving people land. Like so many of the games, especially in Modern, you know, especially we saw people sort of playing a little light on land, doing whatever. Right? So many of these games come down to like, can I get this right critical mass of spells out? And like, I gotta tell you, a lot of times playing Modern Online, I'm pretty happy to get past early on.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm usually happy. Right? Like, you know, my cards are redundant. I've got more, you know, all my creatures are good creatures, you know. But getting something Vapor Snake, just getting bounced and, like, falling behind and having to, you know, kind of claw back in and just be at the disadvantage, and it seems great.
Post board, Craig's got a lot of goodies here. He's got Threads of Disloyalty, it looks like. Some Vapor Snags. I don't know if Vapor Snag's that good against Owen's decks. A lot of Owen's guys just cost like 1 and he can kind of just dump them. But it looks like Owen has a couple Step Lynxes out of his deck.
Those seem like a card that might be a play draw kind of card.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, a lot less impressive to cast a Step Links on the draw when your opponent probably has cards like Electrolyze post board or things like that.
Right.
You never know.
Hey, how many rounds are we doing today? Is it 8 or 9?
I assume it's 9.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I think so.
There's more than 700 people.
Yeah. Yeah, but it could be with like fewer buys.
I guess there are a lot of factors that have to be taken into account.
So, lesson for the day.
Yeah, lesson for the day for everybody watching. If your opponent activates an Isochron Scepter and you have a Thalia in play, they have to pay an extra mana.
And now, and a backup lesson is you activate Isochron Scepter and your opponent has 2 Thalias in play. You should also call it damage.
Yes.
This Thalia is legendary. I love the potential of legendary kind of like aggro creatures.
I like that a lot. Yeah, and I think Thalia is a card that has to be legendary. If Thalia was not legendary, Thalia would be far and away the best card in the new set.
Yeah.
And I think that it's
Thalia,
interesting.
Phantasmal Image Thalia.
Yeah, I mean, Phyrexian Metamorph Thalia.
Yeah.
You know, the things that would happen, it would be a format that was dominated by, you know, you just play a deck that was tons of lands, Thalias, ways to copy Thalias, and Inferno Titans to kill everybody's Thalias. You know, like...
Sounds good.
Seems pretty awesome to me.
Okay. So you're playing against Owen. Owen's green-based, kind of like aggro deck. I mean, do you leave your Scepter soon?
I don't know. It's pretty dangerous, right?
It seems.
You get 2 for 1s.
They seem difficult to, you know, get value out of them.
And it's also like, I guess on the play they might be fine because if you, like on the play they can start snowballing.
Sure.
On the draw, it feels like a disaster because like you either get 2-for-1 to time walk yourself, or
Right.
you know, you're just activating in a turn behind. It's like you're spending like a key turn not doing something, and that's probably enough time for him to just kill you. Could there be a Zoo deck in the top 8 this weekend? Zoo is not a deck I expected to do well.
Oh, really?
I mean, it's
I mean,
a world of without Wild Nicottle. It was very surprising to me that Owen would pick up Zoo.
So, I mean, basically he's like Loamline, Kurt Ape, Tarmogoyf, and Thalia is what we saw.
Yeah. And the Trump
Cool.
Flames.
Well, I'm saying in terms of the creatures.
Yeah.
So it's like 20 creatures, usually like 20 creatures, 20 spells, 20 lands. Not like the sort of the more or less Zoo formula.
Yes, that's the age-old Zoo formula. The Helix off the top, Zoo formula. We will. Alright, so a Delver of Secrets. Now, Craig has a Delver of Secrets and a fetch land in play. This is kind of an interesting thing here because Craig already has enough land in his hand, so during his upkeep, when he triggers that Delver, he's going to get to see whether or not there's a land on the top of his library, and if there is, he can just crack that fetch land, and then he doesn't have to draw that land. So it's a fun little interaction.
Owen's like, no. Bolt
Yeah.
it. I've got this really pretty beta bolt here.
That is a very pretty beta bolt. There are a few things I like more than a beta lightning bolt.
Beta bird.
Beta bird's pretty nice.
We gotta find this with a beta Wrath guy.
Beta Wrath is beautiful.
Yeah. So there's a Tarmogoyf.
A decent sized Tarmogoyf coming down as a 3/4. That's going to make it out of range of the Lightning Helix that's in Craig's hand, and Craig's going to have to use a Path Exile on this Tarmogoyf.
Just making his tribal flames bigger.
Just making the Tribal Flames bigger, exactly. You never know, Owen could even be playing some sort of 5-color Zoo list with Doran or something.
Or Dark Confidant.
Dark Confidant, yeah. That's probably going to be in there before Doran is. Doran's good with Loamline, Kurt Ape, and Tarmogoyf.
Yeah. No, we see that the Helix is still, and the Scepters are still there.
Coming in for 3, knocking Craig down to 15 here. And Owen losing some more life here. Craig can race him with that Scepter, but I'm assuming that Owen's got something else planned.
Dice to St. Traft.
And that's a decent plan. That card attacks for 6 damages.
Right. And also, not something, no part of it gets hit by that Helix.
You can path that angel, but that seems like a losing proposition.
Yeah. So you can see Owen cracking in for 10 next turn. And Craig can get as high as 8. Crack in for 10 again. Owen can get as high as 1. And then cracking in for 10, and Owen can get as high as -6.
Well, I think Craig actually has a Threads of Disloyalty here, so he'll be taking the Tarmogoyf. He's still going to take 6 from this Geist.
Yeah. Nope, he plays his own Geist and just legends it out. The
Nice,
perfect
man.
removal spell there.
Yep. The only removal spell that kills Geists.
Yeah.
Ooh.
9 rounds or 8.
And Owen
many-
continuing to bring these haymakers. A Thrun the last roll.
Players in the Modern Challenge.
That's a pretty
Your
hard one.
seat all has been posted on the banner at the rear of the room next to the clock. You will be on the blue paper using blue table numbers. Once again, the seat all for your 5 p.m. Modern Challenge has been posted.
All right, now
Then we all
Craig has a path, and he can start activating this this scepter. So, Craig actually, winning this race right
One
now.
more player for a commander event.
He's got a half the time reverse, which is not something he wanted to do there.
Signing up another
He's basically got force field going.
and the standard Winnobox.
Yeah, but he's dealing Owen 3 a turn at the same time.
Sure.
All right.
What do you hit? You have to hit the love answer?
Yeah.
So essentially took one from Thrun
From a
that
threat
turn.
hit.
And the available public events judge.
I feel like the scepter is doing pretty well for Craig this game.
Available public events judge to come to the event stage.
Owen's going to need to just keep throwing cards at it if
Right.
he can.
Yep. And Craig keeps his mana open. You see he's holding a Relic of Progenitors, but Chig doesn't want to play it because he wants to be able to activate his... Can basically never tap 2 mana on his turn.
Yes.
Right, because he needs to helix something every turn. And then keeping another mana open, I believe, for spell save.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah,
Owen.
Owen's in a lot of trouble, actually.
Yeah.
Because remember, I mean, even though it's like 3 turns, there's 1 turn where he gets to do that essentially for 6, right? 3, and then untap and do 3 more.
Mini Master number 2, your event is ready. Please assemble here at the event stage. Mini
Not a
Master
good
number
spot
2
for
is
him.
ready to be seated. Please come to the event stage to meet with your judge. Also, if you signed up for Booster Draft 13, your event is ready. If you would also come to the event stage,
Craig's
we will
not
get
taking
you
any
guys
chances
prepared to be
now.
seated.
Yeah.
Mini
Doesn't even want to let
Master
his
2,
life get blown
Draft
off.
number 13.
Owen's at 4.
Craig's at 8.
Yeah. Say go here, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Go to 10.
yeah, you've got it. If you just say go. I mean, if he doesn't try like Pride Mage or something. Oh, Craig going to 7. Owen going to 1. Oh,
So the Oblivion Ring for...
yep, and Craig at 7 now.
Can he deal that last point of damage?
It's unclear whether or not that will happen. Remember, Craig's at 7 here, so... okay, Owen does have a bolt in his hand, I believe, so... I think Craig just dies a lot of ways here. Well, if he has a burn spell on top, though, he can just chump block with that Delver, and then...
If there's a burn spell on top, he can probably also just relic into it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he has a burn spell on top. He's taking that long, to be honest.
Delver here, right? I mean, secret step links here.
I mean, she's gonna chump, right? So you might as well just play. Or maybe he doesn't think he's going to chump. Yeah, and he doesn't have another land, so he wants to just play Delver to just 1 power. So I don't think he's chumping. I think he's hoping Owen doesn't have Bolt, which he does.
Also, players, if you signed up for Mini Master number 2, your event is ready to begin. Please make your way to the public event stage. Mini Master number 2.
Alright, Craig's thinking about this. Craig decides to go ahead and chump.
Yep.
I agree with that.
Loam Lion. So he knows what he's drawing.
Oh, he just kills Owen. You can just Vapor Snag his Loam Lion and then he dies. It's kind of a...
Oh, so maybe Owen doesn't need to play anything there. But Owen can bolt his own Loam Lion, which is what he has to do.
Yep. Yeah, by playing that Loam Lion, he also opens himself up to get threads of disloyalty. But he doesn't know that.
WESCOE plays. Plays step links.
Yeah, so this step link's just probably chump blocking again. I can't imagine he's going to...
He will take it here.
I'm going to be very impressed by Craig if he took this.
Not impressed.
Not impressed. Well, I mean, it's a really hard hit to take, you know? No. Not that I'm not impressed. I'm just saying that... Yeah, I would have chump blocked. I think it shows an incredible amount of moxie to not chump block there.
Yeah.
John wouldn't have blocked.
Yeah.
That's been established.
But he could. I mean, he potentially could have won there.
Yeah. Had he not blocked, he would have won.
I mean, you put Owen on having another burn spell. I guess you have to respect it, certainly.
Yeah, but he already used 2 now, and then, like, it's this careful dance of respect. Like, how do you feel that, like, how does Owen feel? Does Owen want you to block? Does Owen not want you to block?
You have to relic here, right?
Yeah, I think you just relic. You Helix hunting.
Yeah.
Helix is a card that likes to hang out at the top of people's decks.
Leaves his Helix mana open. Removes both players' graveyards.
Oh, it's a gold card, but it's a Geist of Saint Trap.
So he can lay that and go to 1. I think he's at 6 right now, actually. Because he sacked a...
Yeah, he is at 6 right now. And he sacrifices a fetch land and gets a duel.
Well, he can't do that.
He's just dead.
Yeah, he can't do that. Does he just take it? The thing is, he can play. Oh, he had the ball.
Yeah.
Player of the Euro and TURTENWALD wins.
Yeah, Owen TURTENWALD 2-0 with a Zoo deck.
Yeah.
A deck that we have not seen at all since the change.
Gives himself to, I think, X and Y. I think he was, I don't know, he might have had 18 points. Geist of St. Jeff.